Hi, my name is Bridget Lavin and I am a teacher at Lighthouse Yoga. Today we're going to do a nice and gentle practice that's going to help you relax your mind and bring ease into your body. So we're going to start in a comfortable seat, and that might just be cross-legged sitting on the floor. If you'd like to elevate the hips a little bit, you can maybe take a stack of books, or if you have something like a block, and you can sit on it, and it'll help you release the hips a little bit more so the knees can move to the ground and lengthen the spine towards the sky. If you don't have a block, again, a stack of books will work, or you can grab a blanket, take your blanket, fold it up, and sit on the blanket. Again, this just helps to relieve the hips a little bit and help you lengthen the spine. So go ahead and start to find that comfortable seat. Imagine the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky, shoulders relaxing down the spine, and consider closing the eyes. If closing the eyes is uncomfortable for you today, then just find a slight gaze on the floor and keep your attention there, listening to my words for guidance. Feel the inhale balloon into the belly, filling the diaphragm all the way up into the lungs. And as you exhale, feel the shoulders relax, and the belly contract and release. Finding 3 parts to the breath as you inhale, fill the low belly, the diaphragm, the lungs, all the way to the throat. And as you exhale, slowly release. Feel the breath leave the body as you pull the belly button to the spine, squeezing out any stale air. We'll do this for a few more moments. If you'd like, you can place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and just feel the breath, filling the hand on the belly, the space between the hands, filling the heart, and exhaling. Maybe there's a little pressure into the hands as you release all the air out. And if placing the hands on the body doesn't feel right today, you can always keep them at your side. And we're just starting to find the breath. We spend so much of our day caught up in the mind, caught up in thinking. In this practice of yoga, it allows us to come back to the body, come back into being and feeling. And it's natural for the mind to wander. We're just gently inviting it to come back each time we notice the mind wandering. We can't stop thinking, but we can direct our attention. So direct your attention to the breath. It might even be helpful to count the breath, inhaling to a count of 3, exhaling to a count of 3. We'll take just a little bit longer here, finding the breath. And go ahead and blink the eyes open. So we call that breath a 3-part yogic breath. It's a very common yogic breath, and you can use it throughout your entire practice. I'm going to teach you one more breath before we begin to move. We call this breath Ujjayi breath, and it's very similar to that 3-part breath we just did. The only difference is that we're going to slightly constrict the back of our throat. And if that sounds a little odd to you, don't worry, I'll explain. So remember when you were a little kid and you used to want to fog up a mirror and you would right onto the window? It's that same feeling, that same tightness in your throat, only we're going to practice doing it with our mouth closed. I also like to think of this as Darth Vader breath, or it might even mimic the sound of an ocean wave. So consider closing your eyes again. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can stare at me through the camera or through the TV or look at the floor, whatever is best for you. But just start to direct your attention to your breath once again. This time, as you fill with your inhale, see if you can constrict the back of the throat. And as you exhale, keep that constriction. Try it again. One more time. Great. Now, if you found the breath, excellent. If you were unable to find that sound or you still feel a little confused, don't worry. The most important thing is that you breathe. So whether you're breathing in through the mouth or breathing in through the nose or constricting your throat or not, it doesn't matter. The important part is that you're breathing throughout this practice as we move our bodies. Now, one more thing before we move. I invite you to set an intention for your practice. As I mentioned, this practice can be used as a tool to bring our mind to a state of peace. It can also be used to bring ease into our body. And so that might be your intention for the practice. You might have that intention so that when your mind starts to wander or the physical practice becomes hard and your body starts to ache, you can simply say, for my own ease or for my own peace. And you might use this as a mantra, which is simply a phrase that we use or we repeat to keep our attention in the same place. And when we keep our attention in the same place, we're giving it a break from all those other stresses and worries of life, right? And so again, we're not stopping the mind from thinking, we're just directing it to be right here and now with the breath and with the body as we move. So go ahead, take a moment to set your intention, and if you're still not sure, then I invite you to use the phrase, come back. And just anytime you notice yourself wandering away from the breath or the body, simply repeat in your mind, come back, come back, come back. Good. All right. Now we'll begin to move. So we'll shift forward from our seat to tabletop pose. This is on our hands and knees, and if your knees cause you issues, you might take a blanket, whatever you have around, make sure the blanket is nice and flat and even and relatively low to the ground, and then place your knees on the blanket. This will provide some extra cushion, and then your hands can come to the mat, bringing the wrist creases underneath the shoulders. So you might check, and if your hands are way far out and your wrist creases are at an angle from your shoulder, then just walk the hands back in. Try to find a flat back with your spine. So rather than letting your belly sink or arch, find a neutral space where the crown of the head pulls forward and the tailbone pulls back. The belly is pulling in just to support the spine. And it's as if you could balance a teacup on your lower back. It's nice and flat. Good. Now, on your next inhale, start to drop your belly towards the earth, lift the heart forward, and turn your eyes up towards the sky. Rather than crunching the neck, think of lengthening the neck out of the shoulders. As you exhale, press into the earth, round through the spine, and drop your head between the upper arms. Good, now do it again. As you inhale, the belly releases, kind of like you've just unbuttoned your jeans after Thanksgiving dinner, and just let it all hang out. As you shine your heart forward, lift your head towards the sky. Exhale, round, pressing into the earth, drop your head between the arms, pull the belly button all to the spine, and then press into the earth a little bit more. Good. On this next one, pay attention to the arms. The arms don't really move as you inhale, letting the belly drop and the heart lift. So we're isolating the movement to the spine. As you exhale, the arms don't really move. It's the spine that is moving. Good. A few more times on your own, syncing the movement with your breath. Each inhale leads you into this heart-opening cow face pose. And as you exhale, it leads you into this cat back, rounding and lengthening through the spine. Good. One more time. And exhale, round. Good. And come back to a neutral spine. Good. From this neutral spine, I want you to just pick up your right hand a couple inches, hovering it from the ground, and then place the hand back down. Good, now pick up your left knee, hovering just a few inches, and place it back down. Pick up your left hand, hover it a few inches, and place it back down. Pick up your right knee, let it hover, and place it back down. We'll do that again. The right hand lifts and hovers, place it down. The left knee lifts and hovers, place it down. Left hand lifts and hovers, place it down. Right knee lifts, place it down. Try it again. Right hand lifts, lower. Left knee lifts, lower. Left hand lifts, lower. Right knee lifts, lower. One more time, a little faster. Right hand, lower. Left knee, lower. Left hand, lower. Right knee, and lower. Good. Now begin to lift your left knee and your right hand at the same time, pressing into the earth with your left hand, feeling a little bit engagement through your side bodies. So this rib cage is going to come in towards your belly button to support your core. And then exhale, place the hand and knee back down. Now try the opposite side. Lift your left hand and your right knee at the same time. Press into your right hand, feel that heat in your core, and then exhale, release. Doesn't take a big movement to work the muscles, right? You can feel that heat already. Let's do it again. Left knee lifts, right hand lifts, and lower. Left hand, right knee, and lower. Right hand, left knee, and lower. Left hand, right knee. Good, a couple more times each side. So you're just lifting opposite hand, opposite knee, side to side, working your obliques, working the side bodies, starting to feel that warmth in your core. Good. We'll do it one more time. And release. Take both knees wide on your mat. Bring your toes to touch. Press your hips all the way back towards your heels. Walk your hands forward and let your forehead rest on the earth. If you notice that your forehead is lifted and doesn't want to come down to the earth, you can take that stack of books or a block and rest your forehead on the block. We call this pose child's pose, and it may not feel like a resting pose today, but it is in fact a place for you to return to your breath. So if you've already forgotten about that ujjayi breath, that's okay, but we're gonna come back to it now. As you let your body rest in this pose, breathe deeply into your belly, maybe even feel the compression against your thigh. Fill all the way up to the lungs, and exhale out completely. Take 2 more breaths like that, calling your attention back to the breath and back to the body. Good. Inhale. We'll shift forward back to the tabletop position. If your head was resting on books, you might move them off to the side. Hands come back underneath your shoulders. We'll begin to lift our right leg and extend it behind us. The foot is flexed, meaning that the right toes are going to point down towards the earth. Start to move the foot over to your left side. Place the toes on the mat and look over your left shoulder. Breathing here. And take 2 more breaths, just opening with this stretch and using the breath to create more ease in the body as you hold the pose. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg, bring it back through center, and as you exhale, place the knee on the earth. We're gonna do the opposite side now. Inhale, extend your left leg behind you. Bring your left foot over to your right side. Look over your right shoulder and breathe. So this is creating a stretch through the left side of our body. And as we breathe, we're actually creating more space with each inhale. And as you exhale, it's like your body could settle into that extra space so that there's a little bit more ease and opening in the stretch. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Inhale, lift your left leg, bring it back through center, and place the knee on the mat. Good, so that was a nice opening for our side bodies. We've worked our core a little bit, we've warmed our spine. Now we're gonna find a nice twist. Press down into your left hand. Inhale, reach your right arm up towards the sky, and you might even circle your right wrist a few times in each direction. As you exhale, take your right arm, thread it through your left, and rest on the right side of your head. Make sure that your neck is comfortable. If it doesn't feel comfortable, you might take the block or your stack of books and rest your head on the block. Good. You can keep your left hand here with your elbows slightly bent, or you might walk your left arm up towards the front of the mat more for a deeper stretch. If you want even more, you can take your left hand behind your lower back. And we'll take a few breaths here. You might soften or close the eyes and see if you can find that ocean-like breath, that inhale and exhale with a slight constriction of your throat. One more. Go ahead and place your left hand on the mat if it's not already. Press strongly into the arm. Stretch your right arm to the sky and release your right hand back to the earth. We'll find that same stretch on the opposite side. If you feel the need to fidget between sides, that's okay. If you need to readjust your hands, readjust your hands. When you're ready, press strongly into your right hand. Inhale your left arm to the sky. Circle through the wrist. Maybe circle the opposite way. As you exhale, thread the left arm through the right, resting on the left side of the head. And again, maybe you rest directly on the earth, or maybe you grab that stack of books or your block and let your head rest there. As you find your positioning, know that you can take your right hand up overhead or even wrap it around your lower back for 3 more breaths as we hold the pose. If you find your mind thinking about how hard it is, start to come back to your mantra. Come back to inhale and exhale. Come back to the body and just allow yourself to be with this shape for 1 more breath. Press strongly into your right hand. Inhale the left arm to the sky. And as you exhale, place your left hand back on the earth. Go ahead. And we're going to take one of those cat-cows we did just a little bit ago. So as you inhale, drop your belly towards the earth. Lift your heart and head towards the sky. Exhale, round. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Good. So we're going to start to move the body a little bit more. If at any point something I lead you to does not feel good in your body, please don't listen to me and back away from the pose. While there might be discomfort in yoga at times, we are not creating more pain or trauma in the body by holding a shape that creates a lot of pain. So please, if you are in pain, come out of the pose. On your next inhale, reach your right arm towards the front of the room. Good. Now turn your right thumb down towards the earth. This is going to create an internal rotation in your shoulder. You're going to keep this internal rotation. As you move your right arm alongside your body, your thumb stays pointed down until your hand is about level with your glute. Then we're going to externally rotate the arm, turning the palm out so the thumb moves up towards the sky, and then reach your arm up overhead. And you'll notice that as the hand comes forward, the arm naturally begins to move back into the internal rotation. Good. So if all of that just seems like a little bit too much, internal, external, don't worry. All we're really doing is circling the arm. So we're going to do it again. Start with your thumb down. Reach it back towards the body so that your arm is in line with your side body. Then turn the palm out as the arm begins to reach up towards the sky. As it comes overhead, the thumb goes down. Good, we'll do it 1 more time, circling through the arm, reaching it up overhead, and exhale, release your right hand back to the mat. We're gonna do the left side now. Left arm reaches forward. Internally rotate your thumb, which just means turn your thumb down. Keep that internal rotation as you reach the arm behind you, back up towards the sky, and as it comes to the sky, the palm turns out, thumb up. So we're externally rotate as we reach up, and then it naturally happens, we move back to internal, so the thumb goes down as we stretch the arm behind us once again. As the hand reaches about the glute, we turn the palms out and reach it to the sky, coming back around. 1 more circle. Again, don't worry too much about internal, external rotation, just circling through the arm 1 more time and releasing the hand towards the earth. Phew, it's a lot of arm work, right? So now we're gonna work a little bit more through the hips and through the leg. When you're ready, step your right foot outside of your right hand. So if you need to, you might even grab your ankle and physically place it there at the top of your mat. And then your hands are going to be inside of your right foot. Check in with your right knee. If you notice that your right knee is shooting way forward, then wiggle your toes forward so that the knee is either stacked over the ankle or a little bit behind it. And again, the hands are back here. Now you might feel the stretch already. It's a pretty big hip opener. So we're gonna take a few breaths here. Again, you might consider closing the eyes and just finding your breath. Come back to the breath. One more. Good. Now keep your left hand exactly where it is and stretch your right hand to the top left diagonal off of your yoga mat. Drop your chin down to your chest. And you can stay right here, feeling the stretch through the side body. If you'd like a little bit more, you can curl your back left toes and lift your back knee. We're just gonna take 2 breaths here. Whether the knee is up or down, doesn't matter, just breathe. Great, now place your right hand back inside of your right foot, press into your hands and bring your right knee back around to tabletop pose. We'll go right into the opposite side. We're gonna step our left foot outside of our left ankle. And again, if you need to, you might grab that left ankle. We're gonna step it outside the hand. Grab your left ankle and place it to the outer edge of the mat at the top of the mat. Then take your left hand inside of the foot. Now we'll take a couple moments here just to let the hip open, breathing deeply. Shining the heart forward. Notice the neck is in line with the spine. So I'm not letting the head drop or lift. It's nice and neutral. Good, now press down into your right hand. Take your left hand to the top right diagonal of the mat. Now let your head drop as if the chin could move to the chest. You can stay right here or curl your back toe, lift your back knee, and breathe. One more breath. And then if your knee is up, place it down. Bring your hand back inside your foot, and we'll slide our left knee back underneath our hip. Good. If you need to wiggle the hips or maybe take another one of those spine movements we've been practicing, you might do that. Good. When you're ready, return to a neutral spine. Walk your hands forward a few inches so that the hands are now angled out from your shoulders. Imagine there's a magnet between your forearms. So your forearms are moving in towards each other as if you could create a wrinkle in the mat between the hands. Now curl your toes, start to press into the hands a little bit more. Keep the magnet between the forearms, and imagine you can move the heart to touch your thighs. The spine begins to lengthen, the head is gonna drop between the upper arms, and then slowly you might straighten the legs, and they might not go fully straight, they might not. Now imagine heels have weights on them, and they start to move towards the earth. We call this shape downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And we'll just take a couple breaths here. Again, your pose might look bent knee, heels lifted. You might have straight legs, heels down. It just depends. Everybody's body is different, and that is okay. Take a few breaths here and see if you can find that Ujjayi ocean-like breath in this pose. Give your full attention to your body and to your breath for 3 more breaths. And then start to drop your knees down towards the earth. Shift your hips to one side, and you'll free your legs in front of you. And we're gonna head to lay down on our back. So you can move the blanket out of the way, scoot your seat back to the mat, and we'll lie all the way down. Good. Now rest your arms by your side, heel toe your feet wide, and begin to windshield wiper the knees, which just means let them fall from one side to the other. Just like a windshield wiper, releasing any tension in the hips. And when you feel like you've released enough, you can relax. If you want to hold the pose a little longer, you might twist to one side, breathe a couple breaths, then the other. And when you feel satisfied with this hip stretch, you'll stretch both legs out long and prepare for Shavasana, our final resting pose. As you lie in Shavasana, you are allowed to stay there for as long as you'd like. The whole practice of yoga is calming the mind and easing the body so that we can sit still and feel peace. So I hope that as you find yourself in Shavasana, you give yourself at least 5 minutes to settle into this stillness and to feel the peace that this practice of yoga has created. If you're there in Shavasana, take a breath, let it go, and enjoy the stillness. Namaste.